So apparently the judge said that Fani Willis can continue to prosecute Trump's goofy ass in the 2020 election interference case. And guess who's going to be crying? Hey everyone, it's your favorite black single mom here, Samantha the Millennial Introvert, and I wanted to talk to you today about this case because I feel like it was totally bull crap. How, these people were going after, oh my gosh, these dogs are cute. How these people were going after Fani Willis and Marilyn Mosby. It was not missed on me, and I actually did a video on it. I just haven't had time to edit and upload it, so y'all bear with me. I'm a busy single mom, and yeah, so I try to get my videos up as fast as I can. But just be patient with me. So let's go ahead and get into this story. And y'all know I'm going to go straight into the dusty comments. So the dusty comment section. So let's go. Let's go. Fulton County judge says District Attorney Fani Willis can continue to prosecute the 2020 election interference case. And first of all, let me tell y'all, this case, what they were doing to her was so white privilege, so full of crap, so... the things that black single mothers have to go through, black women have to go through. And that's what kills me, because I'm I always see black women hating on other black women for various reasons. So we currently, in my view, we have a few different black women wars going on. I'm what is going on? Or you can call them just straight up women wars, as if we're not already oppressed doubly as a black woman, first and foremost. So we have the childless versus the parents. We have the married women versus the single women. We got the single moms versus it's just oh my gosh, really? We don't have time for this. We do not have it like that to be sitting around on the internet fighting with each other. But here we are. So let me go ahead and get into the story. So Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis could stay on and prosecute the Georgia 2020 election interference racketeering case against former President Donald Trump and 14 of his co-defendants. Judge Scott McAfee ruled Friday that I am so in love with him, y'all, first and foremost, because he let our sister just do the damn thing. She came with fire and all kinds of angry black woman attitude, and I was here for it, and so many supporters for her, because we knew that what Donald Trump's lawyers were doing was full of crap. We knew that he was just trying to stall and trying to get her off the case because she was coming for his whole neck. And basically, Judge McAfee let her go in and be herself, and that's what I was here for, because usually people try to silence black women. They try to diminish our light, dim our light, and not let us be great. And she is a great woman. She's doing the damn thing. She's an entire district attorney in Georgia, and she's just amazing. She's a single mother. She got a divorce way back when, y'all. I don't even know. I think it was 2003 or something. And they're sitting here. So basically, the backstory is, if y'all were not following this situation, the gist of it is basically Donald Trump. So love her so much, I'm about to give her a whole nother title. But Fani Willis, District Attorney Fani Willis, or DA Fani Willis, I think her name is pronounced Fani. Is really pronounced a really beautiful way, but I'm always chopping it up. So work with me, y'all, while I'm doing this. But so basically, Trump's lawyers, they found out that Fani Willis was talking to someone that was in her prosecuting office. She was basically dating someone in her prosecuting office. Y'all, who cares? So when I first heard this story, I was thinking there was an affair going on. Something scandalous must be happening. Why do we care? Even if there was an affair, how is that anybody's business? But of course, you could say, okay, that speaks to a person's character, right? So let's not play games. People fall all the time because they're having affairs, even if it ain't got nothing to do with what they do for a living. They could be a whole politician doing their job, but because they're having an affair, it's now your job is over. So yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe they got something on her, because I thought she was probably having an affair. I thought she might be married. And so I purposely was really not following the case closely, or Marilyn Mosby's, the district attorney in Baltimore, the former, I guess, district attorney in Baltimore, because I knew it was a witch hunt. I knew that people were just basically white people were just coming for these two black women because they were going after, protected like organizations or white men, and they were just doing things that, they wanted. People want to keep us in our place. Like, so many people want to keep us in our place, especially when you're a black woman, especially when you're a single black mother. There are so many people, including other black women, trying to put us in our place, and we ain't staying in no place. We're not sitting anywhere you're telling us to sit. We're not staying in nobody's damn box. We're doing what the fuck we want to do, and that's what it is. So, these women showed up and showed out, and they're great. They're just full of greatness, and people cannot stand when a black woman stands in her power. And that's what I loved about Judge McAfee, because he allowed Fani Willis to like do her damn thing. Like, she did not care that she came with like all the attitude. Everybody was talking shit like, oh, she has so much attitude. I'm like, Trump is like a whole mess. We're not going to sit here and pretend that he's not full of attitude and gumption and whatever he's doing, and he was supposed to be whole president of the United States of America, and he was showing his tail. So yeah, so we're not going to do that. So basically, she's dating somebody in her prosecution office that she hired to help her prosecute Donald Trump. And they were trying to act like there was some scandal going on somewhere. No, they were trying to like, so first it's like, okay, they're having an affair, but he was basically divorced. She was absolutely divorced, like for years and years and years, probably over a decade. I think he was either going through a divorce, like he was separated, or he was getting divorced, or something was going on with him, but he basically was divorced. So it was like two consenting grown-ass people dating, and we're writing home about it. Like, why is this a moment? Because I'm thinking to myself, like, there's so many law firms where it's literally like a husband and wife team. So what's this got to do with anything? And people, you can't say it's conflict of interest. You can't say is this, that, and the other. Like, you just can't say anything, because they could not get her and him on like any type of like affair scandal. Now suddenly they're like, oh, she is spending funds that's like government funds or something for their dates, and she's spending money on him for them to go on dates and using like government funding to do that. And that just like wasn't the case. So they pretty much spent like weeks going through like all their financial statements, hers and his, to try to like confirm, like try to get some dirt on her. And it just didn't happen. And I think like Trump probably, I don't know if they were really on point like that and just knew there really wasn't going to be anything, but I think they felt like, okay, at the most, even if they can't find anything, then public opinion will still have people saying like, no, she has to be. I feel like they probably like, oh, public opinion will say she has to be taken off the case because she has scandal, or she's like bad for business, or I don't know what you call it, but like like them saying like she's going to be like she just compromised, you know how sometimes it's just the point of the fact that you have like negative publicity around you is sometimes something that will make people just completely I don't want to say collapse. It just makes people kind of like fall under the pressure and say, okay, I'm stepping down. But she didn't do that, because she's a strong, amazing black single mother. I love her. And so she's like, she embodies like everything to me. I'm like, she's everything. Strong, successful, black single mom, just got her bag. Like, she's amazing. And so basically now the judge has come out, because I already knew y'all know, like I'm psychic, I'm highly intuitive. So I basically knew like the judge was not going to pull her off this case, because I'm like, they don't have anything. Like, I didn't even really follow it. I only started following it when, I'm trying to think like what made me pull me into following a little bit more. I don't remember when, but it was like something going on. Like, I just was like, let me just see the details a little bit, see what's going on with it, just kind of like update myself on it. And I just saw her being explosive and amazing. And then, white people like saying like, oh, her attitude, like they try to use the angry black woman trope against her. They tried to like put that, but it didn't hit the way they wanted it to. Like, people actually were like, yeah, like, I don't blame her for being angry. This is ridiculous. Like, she should not be on trial. She has not tried to steal an election. She has not, tried to overthrow the government. She did not incite an insurrection. She did not, put hands on women's pum pum. She did not, steal funding. She's not a bad business person who's like pretending to be a billionaire or whatever. She's just not Trump. And she actually said that at some point, and I'm going to play that clip.
Your office objected to us getting Delta records for flights that you may have taken with Mr. Wade.
No. Look, I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
Because it was like, I love this. I feel like in this day and age, like, we don't get enough of people who are just like calling it like it is, like really calling shit out as it really is and doing it for the good reasons. Like, I mean, we have people telling it like, quote unquote, telling it like it is, but they're usually full of shit. We don't have enough people speaking out who are actually doing the right thing and who are actually good people. And that's why I created my channel, because I'm like, I'm tired of hearing people talking nonsense. They don't know what they're talking about. It's not true. And they're spewing crap that actually could be dangerous to Black women and Black single mothers. And I'm not here for that. I'm here to protect Black single mothers, especially because I'm just seeing so much vitriol and crap online that I find very disturbing and dangerous to Black single mothers, the way people are talking about it, including other Black women. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in these comments, y'all, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, God is good, because God is good, y'all, because I was just like, I just came to the park and I was like, let me do a story on something. I had like another idea in my head and what I was going to do. And then I was scrolling down my alerts and I just saw this come up and I was like, oh my gosh, let me check and see. And I already knew before I even read it. I already knew that the judge was going to be like, she can continue prosecuting this asshat. And, it's going to be fire, because basically, like, Trump has been winning in a lot of states. He's been winning in a lot of states for the primary elections. And as far as I know, he is the Republican nominee now for the presidential candidate on the Republican side. So essentially it's him like running against Biden. So we either going to get Biden or Trump, y'all. Like, those are our choices. And please still vote, y'all. Like, even if you don't vote for either one of them and just vote down ballot, like vote for everyone else down the ballot, or, if you just picking one, like, please show up and vote, and because it matters. And I would say, as of right now, because we are honestly, technically, even though we're supposed to be a democracy, we're basically a two-party system at this point, because if you try to support any other party, you're going to basically, it's very unlikely you're going to win, because that's just the way that the system is rigged. And so you have to, and the elections are rigged. It's all about money and whatever, but you have to, I know for the state of Maryland, like, you have to have a party that you've chosen. You have to show up, because if you don't, they actually don't even send you anything in the mail for elections if you don't have a party, if you didn't show up to vote the year prior, or like any other elections if you didn't vote. Like, if you're just saying like, oh, I'm independent, they won't send you anything. They only send you stuff for your party, and not every election like has an independent party or a third party. It's just so weird. So please still go out and vote, even though I know that the choices suck ass, but you need to still have a voice. Like, that's very important that we have our voice. And it's for a lot of reasons. One, because our ancestors did die for us to vote. They did fight for us to vote. And I don't take our ancestors what they've gone through in the past and what we go through now, I don't take it lightly. I definitely honor our ancestors every chance I get. I'm a whole walking honoree of the ancestors. Like, I know everything I do every day is for them. I try to tell people, like, if American white folks are trying to do the most to like keep Black people from voting, that means you need to be voting. Because people be like, oh, it don't matter. Da, da, da. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't be doing everything in their power to keep us from being able to vote. You're an American. You have every right to vote. More rights than anyone else in this country, because our ancestors built the country, because we, fought so hard to get the right to vote, because of all the stuff we've done, just to be here, to be free from slavery, all of that. Like, this is one of the ways you can show up and use your voice. So I'm voting, even though I hate both choices. I don't know. I'm not. I don't really like discussing politics, like what party I'm or anything like that. But please vote, please vote. So let's go ahead and get in these comments, because I'm here for them. I know everybody's going to be crying. So here she go. I already knew somebody was going to talk about the election. Like, oh, he did it because he wanted to be reelected and it's the election year. Whatever. Let's keep going. So he said the judges act for reelection and he will work with corrupt Fani in the future. This is proof that you can lie in court and get away with it. It's shameful and promotes corruption in our courts. The world is watching. This person said, oh, I love it. This person said, whatever nonsense tantrums you want to tell yourself to feel better. Gojo said, yeah, they're watching to see that there's stupid people like you. Oh my goodness. So they say they're watching to see that there's stupid people like you around. Next person said, this is proof that justice will always prevail. Facts. Another person says, God is watching. Yeah, he is watching your crazy ass. This is a black person or a white person. Oh my God, is watching. Okay. Let me keep going. It's a white woman. So, Tom said he said it's her or the special prosecutor. Write the whole story, you jacks. Donald Brown said Trump has lied in court, but it's okay, right? He's been found guilty of fraud in court and found liable for essay in court, but he did absolutely nothing wrong, right? If you believe that, you're dumber than the movie Dumb and Dumber. Next person says Trump does it all day, every day. Facts. Another person saying, how many times has Trump lied? Please. Right. It's like they really act like Trump is like this saint. Like, what are we doing here? That's when you know it's like a racist thing, because you see, first of all, who the supporters are versus the non-supporters of Trump, the people fighting for him. And it's like the craziest stuff they're saying. I'm like, are we narcissistic up in his house? Like, are we just going to be gaslighting us to death? Or do people really believe this? Like, believe that Trump is good and he's not? Because y'all be surprised how uneducated people are about these people in office. Like, yeah, I've seen some crazy interviews of people talking about why they're voting for Trump. And some of the stuff, they actually believe it. And that's so scary. And I blame the American public school system. But let's keep going. So, that the judge is a crook. And this person saying, prove the crime without Bill of Rights. He probably has no clue what he's talking about at this point, because she didn't really elaborate. And so she could be saying the judge is a crook. She could be saying Trump is a crook. We don't know. Next person saying that's all you got. Another person saying, sure, chief, sure, whatever helps you sleep at night. Another person saying you can't be that big of a fool. No, anyways, you're the fool. But anyways, Trump is a ball of lies. Child, I can't. This person saying Trump is one of the most corrupt creatures on this planet. What's shameful is that we have to keep having to hear about the antics of this crook. So another says the fact remains that the judge delayed his decision until after the primary filing deadline. If you don't understand why this is significant, don't bother responding. Bye, boy. Next person says he will lose. Then they're talking about Trump. Someone else says, how freaking delusional are you? The only corrupt one is Trump and the GOP. Wake up, my God. How much of that Kool-Aid you drink? The Queen of the Dam says she didn't do anything wrong. Your orange turd is going down. I love this for him. I can't. This person's laughing. Someone else saying the system will get you. Tina McAdams says that to Eli the Jedi. Someone is saying kind of like not knowing who Stormy Daniels is. Leslie is saying to Rosa, you must not have to work for your money. Slot and Biden takes all the workers' money and give to illegals and has no clue where he's even at. Anything is better than him. Dwayne says, did you fall on your head a lot? To call anyone else corrupt while worshiping Trump makes you a world-class hypocrite. Jeff is saying to Rosa, who said he is a crook, that he says, yes, she is. Talking about Fani, I guess. Like he's trying to have a comeback. Tonya Olkin says, yes, indeedy. Shaking my head. Daniel says, so you are saying that the voters in his district want that slimeball Trump held accountable for his crimes? Melissa says, you just want them because they are black. You past come and show so. What is she talking about? She wants who? For people to do their jobs? Bye. Soul Savior says, so fucking funny after what Fuckarum has done. Yes, the world is watching and Fuckarum will go down in history, but it won't be good. Susan says, Ari, you're a something bully. And what is she doing? Because it doesn't sound like she's giving her roses and compliments. She's bullying. Overall, the crap says, how is she corrupt? We're waiting. Let's hear some facts. Right. Bound says, oh, poor little Tink Tink. Right. Crying us a river. Angel says, oh, shut the F up. Yep. Stanley says, all the MAGA cult had was a disgruntled ex-employee with an axe to grind. You can't expect a district attorney to be disqualified on such little evidence. Ciao. Exactly. I'm like, you're not going to really sit here. If you sit here and disqualify her over these little stuff that should have never been brought to anybody's courtroom, that we know what time it is, okay? We are back in Jim Crow. So Willie Lee says, is your little feelings hurt that your Trumpy is going to prison? Okay, he said it, and I agree. Virginia said, the world is DJT stage. They want a refund because of his lying performance, pretending to be a decent human being / American patriot. Mandy says, the judge is a Republican. Why would he worry about what the world thinks? He's a judge in Georgia. He's in your backyard. Exactly. I knew they were going to try to say, it's because it's an election. This dude is like, no, I'm doing the right thing. You could just tell, like, the way he let Fani behave and the way he, like, basically talked to Trump's lawyers. And I think even, like, the prosecutors, one of the attorneys that was, like, questioning her, you could tell he was on Fani's side. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Angel said, "Ooh, shut the F up." I think he's talking. I think he's for Fani Willis. I can't see the whole comment he's responding to. Derek Parker says she's not on trial. Corrupt Donald Trump is. Facts, and that's exactly what she said. And I was loving it. I mean, it's like the hair standing up on the back of your neck. Like yes. Like, if I could say something, it's kind of like that one saying where they're like, you can't handle the truth. I mean, that statement she said was so explosive, so, like, in your face, so common sense. Like, why am I here? I didn't overthrow I didn't try to attempt to overthrow the United States government. I didn't try to steal an election. I wasn't bribing Georgia officials to try to, like, steal this election and make myself win. Like, I'm not treasonous. I'm not a traitor to the American country. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, because I'm dating someone who I also work with? Who cares? Like, what if they get married? Then what? Anyways, so Donna says, I hate to say it, but he did an amazing job. I think he put society aside and went straight by the book. I'm not happy about it, but I have to deal with it. And I appreciate that she at least is able to be unbiased about the whole situation. Russell says, so to Ari Frazier, so okay, she can lie under oath and nothing. You kidding me? Don't start crying. Don't start crying when she's on the other foot. Lie where? You're lying to yourself, narc. So David says, Trump is proof you can lie in court and get away with it. Exactly. Max says to Ari Frazier, he's right. No. So anyways, Marlon says, I guess it's safe to say you voted for Agent Orange. Greg says, no, you can't lie in court. And if you believe you can, that's a reflection of your low morals. Bye, Greg. NYKKY says, the world was watching on 1/6/2021 as well. Exactly. And we didn't forget and we'll never forget. So overall, the crap is for Fani Willis. Bo says, you sound like that orange wannabe dictator. Soul Savior says to Leslie, Funkarump puts the money in his pockets, then gets more from the dysfunctional cult members. Yep, because they stay giving him money. Just be human. Just be human says to Eli the Jedi, never prevail. Rules for thee, not for me. Yep. Hold on a second, y'all. All right, so let me let's go ahead and see what the judge who worked on this, I don't even know what to call it. Let's go ahead and get into it. I really doubt he's a Democrat. He's in Georgia, which is like really like a red state a lot of times. But I don't know what Fulton County is doing. So let's see really quickly. I don't think it matters, to be honest. Like, you're a judge. Like, does it really matter what your political party is? That's so weird. Because I thought it would have to be like neutral, because you're trying cases for like all these different people, or you're a judge presiding over all these different cases. So it's like, is that something people are even like having to be thinking about? Because you should be unbiased, an unbiased public servant doing your job. So he was an assistant attorney in Barrow County, Georgia, Piedmont Judicial Circuit. He joined the office of the district attorney in Fulton County, Georgia in April 2015, initially working on the early stages of criminal cases. He was later promoted to working as a prosecutor in the complex trial division, which was then headed by prosecutor Fani Willis, who was later elected as Fulton County District Attorney. Wow, so he actually used to work for Fani Willis. Just when you think it cannot get any hotter up in here, like, that is wild. I knew something was up. I'm like, he's definitely like behind her, like he's on her side. I could just tell. So McAfee was eventually promoted to senior assistant district attorney in the major case division, where he prosecuted felony cases including armed robbery and murder. In 2019, McAfee was appointed as an assistant United States attorney for the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. He worked in the criminal division, where he investigated and prosecuted drug trafficking, organization, fraud, and illegal firearms possession. On April 1st, 2021, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp appointed McAfee as the state inspector general. 2022, Kemp appointed McAfee to the Fulton County Superior Court following Christopher S. Brasher's retirement. He was sworn in on February 1st, 2023. So he literally like just got sworn in, and then his first case was like the state of Georgia versus Donald Trump. Like one of his first cases. I'm thinking it's his first case, or maybe it's his first big case. So in August 2023, he was assigned to preside over the racketeering case, state of Georgia versus Donald Trump et al., in which former President Donald Trump and 18 co-defendants are accused of conspiring to overturn the Georgia presidential election results. So I'm like, if anybody's better to judge Fani Willis, it would be him. He literally used to work under her. So if she was an awful boss and like was corrupt, then this would have been his moment to remove her from this case. And we saw how he ruled. So we know Fani Willis is clean. She's, from what I've seen, I mean, they really tried to find dirt on her and they could not find anything. And it was incredible, because I'm like, these people were really trying to go for the jugular. They really were trying to get her removed from Trump's case, and they just could not do it. So, yep, that's what I thought. McAfee is a former member of the Conservative Federalist Society who was an active Republican in law school, will face the voters in overwhelmingly Democratic Fulton County this fall. Georgia case. So misconduct allegations against the lawyer prosecuting Donald Trump in Georgia threatened to derail her case. A rookie judge, her former subordinate, is deciding whether to keep her on the case or reassign it to another prosecutor, or even possibly throw it out. So the allegations led to a 4-day hearing centered on Miss Willis's sex life that was broadcast to the world, replete with fiery exchanges and salacious stories. Judge McAfee will rule by Friday, and we already know he ruled in Fani Willis's favor. So ahead of that decision, the millennial jurist weighed in on the 41-count indictment on Wednesday, dismissing 6 charges, 3 of which relate to Mr. Trump for insufficient evidence. Office in 2015. There, Miss Willis was his supervisor. In an interview with the Washington Post last year, she described him as one of her baby attorneys. Oh. So, unfortunately, I just learned that prosecutor Nathan Wade had to actually step down hours after the judge's ruling, but I don't think he's going to be hurting for work, so he'll be fine. DA Fani Willis is allowed to stay on the Georgia election case after the lead prosecutor had to resign. Nathan Wade, the lead prosecutor in the Fulton County election interference case against former President Trump and his co-defendants, resigned Friday as special prosecutor following a ruling by the judge overseeing the case, which I think is asinine. Like, I don't think he should have had to do it. I hate identity politics and respectability. I just think it's all BS because it seems like it only applies to black people. Wade's resignation came hours after Judge Scott McAfee declined to outright disqualify Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, but ruled that either she or Wade must step aside from the case due to a significant appearance of impropriety from a romantic relationship between Willis and Wade. And yes, ruling. Wade's resignation means that Willis and the rest of her team will remain on the case. In his resignation letter addressed to Willis, Wade said he was stepping down in the interest of democracy. Although personally I'm thrilled, I already knew that DA Fani Willis was going to be allowed to stay on this case because I just did not feel that they had enough grounds to have her removed. I mean, how pathetic is that? That's the most you can come up with, is I have a relationship with the person that I work with. Like, who doesn't? When you work as many hours as these people do in certain fields, like whether you're a doctor or an attorney or even a cop or whatever, you're going to tend to date the people that are around you because, like, you don't ever get to go home. This shows their commitment to the American people and getting justice for what we had to go through in dealing with Trump and all of his treason behavior and all of the treason behavior of his supporters. So if she has a date within her office, because then what is the big deal? She's still doing her job. She's happier doing her job. So she's going to do a better job when she's able to be in love and happy and having vacations, which she rightly deserves, because I cannot imagine the workload she has to deal with taking on a case like Trump and all his crazy co-defendants. So congratulations, District Attorney Fani Willis. I'm so happy that at least one judge saw the light and did not take you off this case like they did Marilyn Mosby in Baltimore, because that's a completely hot ass, fake ass witch hunt mess. So I will talk to you all later and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.